Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update from Sebastian Fitness Solutions. Have you ever wondered whether you should be doing tricep extensions on a bar using a pronated grip or on a rope using a hammer grip? Or better yet, have you ever seen somebody using a supinated or an underhand grip to do extensions and wondered whether that would work the tricep any differently? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then you definitely want to pay attention to what I have to say in this video, because I'm about to go all science up in that bitch. Coming right up. What's up everybody, this is Sebastian from Sebastian Fitness Solutions, coming to you from the wonderful facility at YFC IC Colony in Borivali. And in today's video, I'm going to be discussing about the various hand positions or grips that you can use in tricep extensions, whether or not they have any impact on the training of your triceps. And at the end of it, we're going to discuss what is the best grip for you to use in these cable tricep extensions. Now, I'm pretty sure that when you've seen people doing this exercise in the gym, you've probably seen them doing it in various ways. You've seen them doing it with a overhand grip on a straight bar. You've probably seen them doing it on an easy bar. You've probably seen them doing it on a rope using a hammer grip. And then you've also probably seen them doing it on handles with an underhand supinated grip. And you probably also have a bro in the gym who comes and tells you like, bro, if you want to get that nice lateral delt, you've got to do that pronated grip, you know? But if you want that long head, you got to do it supinated. It's science, bro. Trust me. Look at my guns. Or you have that guy coming in telling you like, bro, if you really want to get the most of gains, you got to do some variation, man. This is just for variation. You know, you need variation to confuse those muscles. But I digress. Anyway, let's look into this idea. Let's look into this concept of whether or not changing your grip width or your grip orientation would change or impact your triceps training. Now, to delve into that, let's first discuss a little bit of anatomy first. So, we look at these movements, it's called pronation and supination. So, overhand grip would be pronation and underhand would be supination. How is this movement achieved? Well, this movement is achieved by moving your forearm bones, which is your radius and your ulna, around the joint, what's called as the radio-ulnar joint, both at the proximal, which is near your elbow, and the distal, which is near your wrist. So, movement around these joints is what facilitates these two positions. And in a pronated version or in pronated grip, your radius bone crosses over the ulnar bone. Whereas in a supinated grip, your radius bone runs parallel to your ulnar bone, okay? And it moves around the radio-ulnar joint, as I mentioned. Now, the tricep muscle, the tricep brachii muscle, it attaches to your forearm to the ulnar bone. It does not attach to your radius bone, it attaches only to the ulnar bone, right? Now, I invite you to think about this for a second. How would, in pronation, where this movement of the radius bone, so how would the movement of the crossing over of this radius bone from pronation to supination, which happens at the radio-ulnar joint, have any bearing on your triceps training if the tricep is not even connected to that bone? And the answer is, it does not. The triceps do not attach to the radius bone, and any movement of this radius bone in supination or pronation has no impact on the triceps because the triceps is completely disconnected to this movement. There is no bearing on it whatsoever. What does happen, however, is that when you get into the supinated position, you end up picking on a weaker grip, because compared to all the three grips that you can look at, whether it's pronation, hammer and supination, the strongest of them all is your pronated grip, followed by the hammer grip, and then the supinated grip is your weakest grip. So when you do end up taking a supinated grip, what you end up doing is you actually end up putting yourself in a weaker position, because of which you can't really fully extend that elbow with as much force, because your forearms and your grip strength ends up becoming the weak limiting factor here. And you end up eventually shooting yourself in the foot, because what your triceps could otherwise easily handle, you're not able to do that simply because you're limited by your grip strength. So, are you making a difference? Yes, you are. But the difference is in the negative, because you're actually giving the triceps less stimulus, because it's taking on lesser weight than it's actually capable of taking on. And that's the only thing pretty much that you're accomplishing by doing this change. You are not training the triceps in a different angle. You're not training different heads of the triceps. You're not doing anything whatsoever to impact triceps training. What you are doing inevitably is just taking away from it because you're lifting less load. So, long story short, do the various grip positions or hand positions impact tricep training in the sense that you're thinking? Absolutely not. Does it, however, end up being a bad thing for you? Yes, it is, because if you go from a pronated to a hammer or a supinated position, you end up taking on lesser stimulus for the triceps than they can actually manage. Alright, so now that we know that your grip position or your hand position doesn't really affect the triceps directly, doesn't really influence the muscle in any way, but is there still a single best grip that you can use for this exercise? The answer is yes. And that would be the most comfortable grip that allows you to lift the most amount of weight for that given exercise. Now, as I discussed before, in terms of grips, your pronated grip would be strongest, your hammer grip would be somewhere in the middle, and your supinated grip would be the weakest. So in all factors considered equal, you would go for a pronated version. So if you're going for both hands, you'd be going for a straight bar, or if you're going for a single hand, you'd be going for a handle and then again using a pronated grip. However, there is another grip that actually works out to be a little bit more comfortable, ultimately because it's a little bit more comfortable for the wrist, and that is a neutral grip. So that's somewhat in between pronation and hammer. And that neutral grip you can get in two instances. One is when you use an easy bar. So that easy curl bar, if you have that attachment available for your cable station, I would suggest going for that one because that's almost pronation, a little bit towards hammer, like somewhere in neutral, but it's the most comfortable grip for your wrist. And therefore, if your wrist is feeling nice and secure and strong, you will be that much more likely to lift more weight comfortably. So that's why that ends up becoming the better grip for you. Another case scenario is when you're using a single handle and you're doing like an isolateral or a unilateral tricep extension. In there as well, you can kind of maneuver your wrist a little bit to get that neutral position. And I would actually recommend doing that over a bilateral extension because as I've discussed in countless videos that I've done over the years, whenever possible, an isolateral or unilateral version is better than a bilateral version just because you can allow for proportional development of both sides or both your arms. So you can allow each arm or each of your triceps to work independent of each other, right? So that's the basic criteria of determining what's the best grip for you. So if you have the option available for a single handle or for an easy curl bar, by all means, go for that. That would be the best grip for you. But if not, pronation or your straight bar with a pronated grip would be the next best option for you. However, I would suggest steering clear away from the hammer grip or the supinated grip, not for any other reason except the fact that you can't lift as much weight. So the next time you're in the gym and you're wondering whether I should do tricep extensions with a rope or with a bar, you know now, do with a bar, overhand grip, or easy curl bar, neutral grip. That's a better way for you to go because your triceps ultimately are not going to experience any different angle as such. It's ultimately the load that you lift, and these two grips are going to help you lift much more than either hammer or supinated ever would. Alright, so I really hope that you found this video informative, and if you did, don't forget to give this a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, click the subscribe button right now. Go ahead, click it right now, right there. Click it. Come on. And share this video with anybody else who you think would find this information helpful. There's a lot of myths going on in the realm of health and fitness, especially in the gym. And our job right here is to break them down systematically. I need your help to help spread this message so more people can come to know about this and this myth can be finally laid to rest. So I really hope that this video has done that, and that's all the time I have for you today. But until next time, keep learning, keep growing.
Hey, thanks for watching that video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, follow me on my social media. All my links are down below in the description box, so go ahead and check it out. Give me a follow. And lastly, click the video right here to watch another awesome video.